morning, my name is Josh from Cyclones Oz, and this is your latest weather forecast update for February 24th, 2026. We've got a lot to get through today, including a powerful low pressure system located in central Australia and lots more rainfall still to come for Queensland. In fact, the next 2 weeks could be some of our wettest weeks of the year. If you're brand new to my channel, please do consider subscribing and also leave a like on the video while straight. But let's get stuck straight into the details right now, looking at our synoptic chart. And you can see over the next couple of days, we are expecting this low pressure system to really strengthen through central Australia. In fact, it's going to be at its strongest later this afternoon before easing back a little bit tomorrow and then into Thursday as it sinks further down towards the south. In fact, it should cross in towards South Australia as we head in towards the afternoon hours of tomorrow, and that's going to drag that heavy rainfall further south. You can also begin to see areas of low pressure indicated in those yellows and then blues in the afternoon hours deepening into the Coral Sea, and that's going to indicate our next area of troughing and low pressure activity likely to get itself going up into the Coral Sea, and that could bring some significant rainfall towards parts of northern Queensland. In fact, a stretch of coastline could be looking at between 300 to 500 millimetres into the first week of March. The good news is, at least for central Australia, whilst they do really need this rainfall and they need a lot of rainfall as well just to keep things ticking by out there, this low pressure system is now probably about halfway through its course of life in central Australia, and it is expected to sink down towards the south as we head out towards Friday and then eventually Saturday. Lots more areas of low pressure continuing to strengthen as well through parts of Western Australia as some troughing activity gets ramped up towards the end of the week. But this rainfall through central Australia really does begin to sink further down towards the south as we head into the first couple of days of March. And you can see that low pressure system then easing out through this coming weekend, and it's going to take the rainfall with it, sliding into South Australia and then into Victoria. This is a look at 24-hour accumulations throughout the course of the next week. So you can see rainfall accumulations are expected today to be very heavy through parts of western New South Wales, southwestern Queensland, as well as much of northern and northeastern South Australia, with some more moderate but still locally heavy falls expected into the Northern Territory around Alice Springs, where the centre of the low pressure system is actually located. We're going to be looking at areas of convergence, which is where these southeasterly winds are going to begin to clash with these northeasterly winds coming through Queensland, and this is likely to occur towards the north of Broken Hill around Wilcannia and White Cliffs tomorrow, and some locally intense rainfall accumulations can be expected in this area. In fact, a few spots might pick up close to 150 millimetres in a 24-hour period, so definitely some significant flooding potential in those areas, and those are going to be some places to watch. This afternoon we'll also see showers and thunderstorms developing through parts of central Victoria. Falls could be quite heavy at times, between 40 to 70 millimetres in a few spots, and this goes from Melbourne, which is currently under a severe weather warning. Definitely an interesting time ahead for those areas that do desperately need some rainfall ahead of what is looking like quite a dry winter for Victoria and much of New South Wales. Through Wednesday into Thursday right now, you can see that heavy rainfall still ongoing through parts of central western New South Wales. Heavy falls still expected into the northeast of South Australia, and heavy falls expected to continue through parts of western Queensland. You can see around the centre of the low pressure system, significant rainfall accumulations expected to be an ongoing concern in those areas, and that's really going to promote a flooding concern through the Georgina and the Diamantina rivers that flow into Lake Eyre. Definitely some significant rainfall potential for those areas. Pushing things forward even further towards Thursday and Friday, you can see a bit of rainfall now developing through the Flinders Ranges around Lake Torrens in South Australia, and this is that signal taking that rainfall further down towards the south, and this is going to provide parts of the Eyre Peninsula and the southern pastoral districts through South Australia with some much needed, very decent rainfall accumulations throughout the course of this weekend. We'll get to it in just a second, but you can also note an area of rainfall increasing across southeastern Queensland. That could present us with some locally moderate falls across the Sunshine Coast. We'll touch on that in just a few minutes. Pushing things forward through Friday and then eventually in towards Saturday, as you can see right now, significant rainfall accumulations developing through parts of South Australia, north of Ceduna and Streaky Bay. The heaviest falls are expected to be inland, with up to 150 millimetres locally possible in these areas, and keep in mind these are places that have seen some half-decent rainfall accumulations recently as well, so some half-decent flooding is also expected in these areas. Heavy falls then push in towards Victoria later on into the weekend and into early next week. We might be talking about localised rainfall accumulations between 50 to 150 millimetres, but more widespread falls between 20 to 50 millimetres can be expected, and it's going to be a classic kind of bullseye forecast. It really depends on the movement and the track development of this tropical low pressure system over the next couple of days as to where that heaviest rainfall is expected to be. It may sink as far south as Melbourne, but it may also hug the Victoria and New South Wales border. Still some details there that need to be ironed out at this point in time. And pushing things out further still, you can see that rainfall continuing through Monday, Tuesday, and then finally easing off on Wednesday and Thursday before a period of dry weather kicks in across southern Australia. A couple of cold fronts expected here and there, but we are expecting some significant flooding into the Lake Eyre region to kick up after this wet period is done and dusted. You can actually see a little bit more rainfall developing into parts of northern areas through western Queensland and even northwestern Queensland as we head out towards the first week of March and even into the second week of March. That may bring even more rainfall into the Lake Eyre catchment. And just briefly, we do have some shower activity through southeast Queensland today. We're not expecting anything too crazy to kick up, but through Thursday and then into Friday, we might be talking about some more locally moderate to even heavy falls around the Sunshine Coast and through parts of the southeast coast. Again, we're going to be talking about bullseye rainfall accumulations here. For the most part, a lot of places are going to be left high and dry with disappointing accumulations around the 10, 20, even 25 millimetre mark if you are somewhat lucky. And this also includes Brisbane and the Gold Coast, which are not expecting the heaviest rainfall to fall in their vicinity, but we may be talking about some more locally moderate to heavy falls through Thursday night and into Friday morning around the border ranges, and then into the Sunshine Coast and the Gold Coast hinterland. You know your typically wetter locations, you know where you are, that's sort of where we're expecting the locally heavier rainfall accumulations to occur. You can see in the east and low forecast modelling, we are hinting at the potential for some convergence zone activity to develop, which is where we do see those localised but very heavy rainfall accumulations that may exceed triple figures in a short period of time. We could be hinting at something like that south of the Gold Coast into the border ranges and around the Byron Bay and Lismore sort of area into far northeastern New South Wales. But in terms of how likely this is to occur, we've still got some details on the forecast modelling to iron out, and it looks like basically only mid-level convergence is going to occur here. Surface level convergence is where we're going to be talking about our heavier rainfall accumulations. At this point in time, that doesn't look overly likely to get itself rolling off the ground here. Rainfall eases off pretty quickly through Friday and then into Saturday, and you can see minimal rainfall accumulations expected throughout the remainder of this weekend. I'd be surprised if Brisbane didn't end up with 25 millimetres in the gauge on Friday and Saturday combined, but not much more can be expected in those areas. It's going to be very isolated 70 plus millimetre accumulations in those traditionally wetter locations, with a lot of other places expecting 20 to 30 millimetres. So don't get excited, but there will be some locally more moderate, potentially even heavier rainfall accumulations through parts of southeastern Queensland. And just to get a bit more of a bigger picture understanding across northern and far northern Queensland, showers and thunderstorms continuing throughout the course of today. As you can see, lots of shower and thunderstorm activity expected today into tomorrow across parts of northern, northwestern and far northern Queensland. Again, it's going to be pretty patchy and sporadic in nature, so don't get your hopes up for significant rainfall accumulations, and I don't think you necessarily want them either. Flooding is becoming a real problem through northern and northwestern Queensland, and we are at that time of the year, of course. We kind of expect that sort of activity to be occurring, but we're really starting to see some very significant rainfall accumulations in a few spots, and it is starting to become a pretty prolonged flooding season and a prolonged flooding concern through parts of northern Queensland. As we head out towards the end of the week, you can see here playing this modelling through, lots of rainfall forecasts to develop into the Coral Sea. We're seeing some weak troughing activity and then the potential for a surface low to develop, which may become a tropical low as we head out towards the weekend. Now, this is going to become a very interesting part of the forecast because we're likely to see a surface trough or surface low develop offshore from the Cape York Peninsula. But what this is going to do with a ridge expected to develop into the Tasman Sea, it's going to kind of squish our isobars together. And when we get that squishing sort of pattern of those isobars, we're likely to see some significant rainfall accumulations in a few spots, notably around the central coast and Whitsundays area, but it could also sink south into the Capricornia coast. It could rise north into the far north Queensland coast. Details around this still quite uncertain at this point in time. Definitely need a few more days to iron out this, but we are now talking about some potentially heavy, even locally intense convergence zone rainfall type potential throughout the course of this weekend through pockets of the north and the far north Queensland coastline. It'll be pretty on and off in nature, similar to last week, maybe not as intense as last week, but we could still be talking about this potential here. If a tropical low was to develop, the chance of it becoming a tropical cyclone appears pretty unfavourable at this point in time, but it's not completely out of the question, and it's going to be a factor in the forecast modelling that we need to give another couple of days to sort of fester offshore from far northern Queensland. But we're still looking quite long range at this point in time, so the details around that are going to be quite uncertain and quite murky over the next couple of days. But yeah, definitely some tropical low potential, maybe even some weak tropical cyclone potential into the first and the second week of March into the Coral Sea, and whether that comes close to the Queensland coastline or not, still a few details and a few more days in the forecast modelling to really iron out. But you can see some very significant rainfall accumulations expected. Looking at it right now, we're seeing those red colourings come through, and that could be as much as 100 millimetres in a 24-hour period, and a few spots potentially approaching 250 millimetres in a 24-hour period. A very significant falls coming through for days on days on days on end. So significant rainfall adding up here. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw widespread falls between 100 to 250 millimetres, with isolated totals between 400 to 600 millimetres into the first and the second week of March put together across parts of northern and far northern Queensland. Whilst that sounds normal for this time of the year? It completely is. We're seeing, about 10 weeks of this extreme rainfall across northern Queensland. That's really starting to have a toll on the river systems. A lot of rivers up in far northern Queensland now running at flooding alerts, some even at moderate, even major flooding alerts. So further rainfall accumulations not really welcome in a few of these very saturated and very soggy corners of Queensland. So we'll keep an eye on this situation here, but definitely a bit of a flooding concern heading into the first couple of weeks of March. Now, this is a forecast that has rattled some cages. We're now looking at our wind forecasts here across parts of the Coral Sea, and you can see we are expecting potential for tropical low, even tropical cyclone activity into the eastern extremities of the Coral Sea. So likely around Vanuatu, pushing closer to Fiji, developing later this week. In fact, we're expecting a tropical low to begin properly developing through Thursday and then out towards Friday. It's the system out around Vanuatu. It's not that big, broad low pressure system into the central parts of the Coral Sea. That's a stock standard surface low and not something to be concerned about. However, it will be bringing some rainfall and shower activity to parts of central Queensland and even parts of northern Queensland as well. It's that low pressure system that we're tracking out around the Vanuatu area that you can begin to see get its act together throughout Thursday and then out towards Friday right now on the screen. This system's pretty quick to get its act together. Whilst it remains quite a broad and disorganised system, it gets its act together quite nicely through the weekend, and we could be looking at a full-blown tropical cyclone, the first of the South Pacific seasons. In fact, the Australian region really has stolen the South Pacific thunder this year and last by Saturday or Sunday morning. And this system here could go on to become a very strong tropical cyclone, with long-range forecast modelling suggesting at least a Category 3 on the Australian scale, potentially approaching Category 4. Even if these sea temperatures hold up, we might be looking at a potential brief Category 5 strength system on the Australian scale here. But the good news is the track that this storm is going to take, whilst it takes it right over Vanuatu, and it could bring some very heavy rainfall accumulations to Vanuatu, this system is very quick to slide down towards Norfolk Island, then eventually off towards New Zealand without impacting Fiji or Tonga or other locations around the South Pacific. It kind of takes that channel without all the islands and without all the population centres. And like I said, whilst it may bring some flooding potential and some damaging wind potential to Vanuatu, this system here doesn't look to be an Australian or a land threat for that matter, definitely not an Australian threat. But you can also see out into the long range here, Monday and Tuesday, as we continue to play this run forward, that broad circulation beginning to get itself going offshore from the north and the far north of Queensland coast. That's the tropical low we were just talking about. That could bring some significant rainfall. And you can see as we continue to play this through, not much in the way of tropical cyclone genesis going on there. In fact, it barely attains gale force winds at all throughout the course of its lifespan. But those are the sort of systems that we're always watching and monitoring closely for significant rainfall potential. That is going to be a factor in the forecast that we need to monitor very closely in the next couple of days, and I'll do that for you. And just to wrap this video up, let's head out towards Western Australia, play this forecast modelling forward. You can see we are expecting some broad circulation to get itself together towards the start of next week, and that's going to be as a tropical low emerges off from the Kimberley coastline or the Pilbara coastline. Now, forecast models have been keen on this for the last couple of days, but we may see a brief weak tropical cyclone developing offshore from the West Australian coastline. I'm really clicking like crazy to get through this forecast modelling here because it is a long-range system, but it's been on our radar for a while, and towards the end of, or towards the start of this week, next week rather, we may see a system emerge off the Kimberley or the Pilbara coastline, but it's going to be towards the end of next week when we begin to see this system emerge out into the Indian Ocean and then potentially become a tropical cyclone problem. Systems at this time of the year always need to be monitored into the Indian Ocean because climatologically speaking, we can see some incredible tropical cyclone activity out into the Indian Ocean at this time of the year. But I'm not overly concerned at this point in time. Not one forecast model and none of the AI models either are calling for a significant tropical cyclone out of this system here. And you can see the east left, which is what we're looking at right now, keeps this system as a very broad and messy tropical cyclone circulation as opposed to a solid tropical cyclone threat for the West Australian coastline. So really not looking at anything significant at this point in time. Definitely a system worth watching and keeping an eye on because it may bring some rainfall to parts of northern and northwestern WA. But in terms of a tropical cyclone threat right now, not a system that I'm concerned about, not a system that is likely to become a concern at this point in time. But on that note, that is going to do it though for today's weather forecast update. I do hope you've enjoyed it and found it informative. And if you're enjoying this new content style, then please do consider leaving a like on the video and also subscribe to the channel as well. Lots more still to come like this, and I'm still experimenting as well, so expect different styles of updates to come out here and there. We might throw in some screen recordings on higher end days when we need to get down into the desk and really analyze what these systems are going to be doing, but I will keep you posted in that regard. It's a very exciting time here at Cyclones Oz, so make sure you are subscribed for the journey. Go check out my Facebook page as well, lots more updates coming out over there, but that's going to do it for me today. Have a fantastic Tuesday and a fantastic remainder of your week. I'll catch you on the next storm. Goodbye.